So how about we prepare for this upcoming week? What's going on, team? It's Ricky here with Technical Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. Hopefully you were able to catch up on sleep, whatever it is that you needed to do. But now it's time to prepare for this upcoming trading week. I hope that you learned something new in this video. If you do, please make sure you drop a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't done so already. But without further ado, this is our Sunday stock talk. This is where we break down the top 10 stocks that our group members see value in. And all you literally have to do is share your top stock in the live chat. And to participate in the live chat, you just have to make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. So just so you guys can see, I just have my one lucky share of TQQQ. I have my one lucky share of SQQQ. And that's it, right? We're starting the week off cash. I do not care if the market is bullish. I do not care if the market is bearish. What's one thing that I'm going to be focusing on? Direction, right? It's literally that simple. So Friday was a pretty rough week, especially after Thursday's earnings, right? Google, Amazon, Apple reported earnings. A lot of them missed and poor expectation. Market pulled on back. Something that we prepared for, right? Now we are testing, right? When asking kind of where the market is right now, the market is very bullish based off of the start of January, right? But now it's overbought enough that, a lot of people are bringing up the idea of what about a pullback, right? Especially as the Federal Reserve announces that they're going to begin their quantitative tightening. Yes, inflation is coming down. It's been great to see the progress, but I don't think that the market has seen the effects of the quantitative tightening just yet. So I'm getting ready to prepare to short the market, especially if we break below this EMA line. You can see that as of right now, NASDAQ is showing signs of a support right around 305 for QQQ. If we break below this support range, it's not rocket science, right? I mean, we're going to make our way back down to around 294, 295 general area, right? That's the previous support range, and that's above the moving average. If we find a support here, which again, we're still considered to be overbought, especially after that previous gap up, then if we do end up actually taking off and finding a support here, then again, I can just choose to day trade TQQQ. If we break below, I'll go into SQQQ, which is the NASDAQ short ETF. One of the things that I want to remind you is that, you don't, a lot of people think that like you have to trade the same things that I'm trading just because I talk about them, and that's not the case at all. I mean, instead of trading TQQQ, you can go into QQQ, right? It's a single leverage instead of it being triple leverage. And one of the things that we want to remind you, especially if you're just getting started, is that you have nothing but time to get better. You have nothing but time to learn. You don't have to put yourself in riskier positions. It's better to be safe rather than to be sorry, right? And again, your time will come. You're not trading. You shouldn't be trading with a large dollar amount when you're just getting started. And I just want to, be those words of encouragement for you, because I don't want you to, put yourself in a position that you're just not ready for, right? So I'm excited for this upcoming week. I hope that you guys are. And without further ado, let me go ahead and break down your top stock. So if you guys want me to break down your stock, all I literally ask for you to do is to share it in the live chat. So what's going on, Blossom? What's up? So I did very restful, ready for the week. Same here. So excited for this upcoming week. I'm sure a lot of you guys are. I don't know if it's just me, but I always look forward to Mondays now, right? And I think that says a lot about, if you can find joy in most areas where people have like void, I think that's a great way to be able to, approach life, where you just enjoy doing what you do every day, right? All right, here we go. So we got Boeing. So that's ticker symbol BA, right? So let's go ahead and break down Boeing very quickly. Looking at this on the day chart, Boeing very overbought. Based off of recent patterns, I mean, this is quite impressive, right? We were trading below the moving average. We broke above the moving average. We began making higher highs, higher lows. Now we're extremely overbought. So it's safe to say that Boeing is overbought in my opinion. Maybe a nice little retracement right back down to the moving average would be pretty nice. As of right now, I mean, it has pulled on back, and it's probably going to go to retest that EMA. But one of the things that I want to remind you is, it doesn't always have to correct itself all the way right back down to that moving average, where was that? So that was right around the 160 price range. So on the 4-hour time frame, I mean, it's important to know that it is very, very bullish, but it is also very overbought. So this one's kind of just a tough one because you obviously don't want to trade against the overall market, and it's still holding above the EMA line. But if we do break below that EMA, then I would consider shorting it on the way down. If not, then just allow it to retrace itself, or the more it sells off, the cheaper you can actually get it for, and then you can try to identify a reversal there. And instead of looking at the day chart, if you look at the 4-hour, then it would be breaking below that $200 price point or the moving average, right? And we could see that this has been a general support range where it pulls back, finds a support, pulls back, finds a support, pulls back, and maybe it could find its support again and continue to make new highs. I just don't see the risk to reward ratios to be in my favor for Boeing as of right now to go long on it. All right. So you want me to break down Tesla? I feel like we break down Tesla every single Sunday stock talk. Tesla has seen nearly, not yet, but nearly a 100% return in just 1 month. Did you guys know that? So Tesla from overall lows, my little tread line tool is not working right now. But from overall lows of 101.20 to current highs, right? We hit highs of around 198. And if you do the math, I mean, that's a 98%, 97% return in just 1 month, right? Because this was January 6th, and then we hit overall highs here. So pretty crazy. I mean, I think it's safe to say that Tesla is overbought based off of recent patterns. On the 4-hour time frame, it's very easy to see. It's very easy to see on the day chart as well. And I think it's just important to understand when something is overbought and oversold. Even if your intention is to invest in something long term, being able to manage and delegate that position size is very important. Knowing when you want to be aggressive and knowing when you want to maybe be a little bit lighter on your position in case we do see a little bit of a pullback. And I think that's what would make most sense right now, where you don't need to be scared and sell your entire position because a lot of you guys are invested in Tesla. But when asking the question of like, okay, well now we've pushed up enough where we could expect somewhat of a correction, somewhat of a pullback, and it doesn't mean you have to sell your entire position, right? Because it could continue to run, but you just begin to reduce it. So at least if it does pull back, you have the option of being able to actually buy more at a cheaper price. And I think that's all we ever want to encourage you to do, is to put yourself in a position where you always have an option to buy more, especially if it's at a good deal, right? So let's go ahead and let's do American Airlines. So American Airlines right now, in my opinion, very overbought. I do have a short position on American Airlines. And again, that's just, it's something that I have a lot of fun with. I talked to my Learn Plan Profit team about it. We could see that based off previous patterns. And again, patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to, but on the 4-hour time frame, you could see that it's overbought. On the day chart, you could see this overall descending lower high, lower low. So it tends to correct itself and come right back down to that $13 to $12, range. So ideally what I'm looking for is for this thing to, break below its support range that it has here and then make its way back down to the moving average and or make its way back down to that $12 price point as it normally does. But it's been performing very, very well. I took a short position right around that $16.50 price point. And I would add more to my short once it's actively selling out. But as of right now, I have a 10% position size on American Airlines. And it is an active short that I do have. So it's just, it's been so bearish for so long. But if we do begin to see a change of direction, I'm going to have to cover my short, right? If this thing actually begins to break above $18 a share, then I'm going to have to respect that, hey, it's doing something that it has not done in a really long time. And I just have to control, right? I'm not going to be perfect with every trade. I just have to understand that if there is a true break of pattern or a true change of direction, then I just have to accept that loss and then, move forward from there. But in my opinion, again, that's just 100% my opinion, but based off of this huge rally, right? Would it be much of a surprise for me to think that, we're going to most likely correct ourselves once this hype, passes through and then it returns back to its true value. So let's go ahead and break down more. Again, if you guys want me to break down your top stock, all we literally ask you to do is to share it in the live chat and make sure you drop a thumbs up. You could only participate in the live chat if you're subscribed to the channel. So again, just another reason to subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. All right, so we got Crocs and Amazon. So Amazon is a beautiful long-term play. Right now we're testing support on a lot of these big tech stocks on the 4-hour time frame right at that EMA line. So if I'm not mistaken, Apple has a very similar setup. Sorry, what was it? Google? Okay, so we're still testing around that EMA line, but Amazon as of right now, I wouldn't necessarily say that this would be a position that I would consider day trading, right? It would either be a swing trade and or a long-term play. And I think anytime Amazon pulls on back, in my opinion, I think it's a great long-term investment. Amazon, based off of recent earnings, did not perform the best. It almost made no money for its previous quarter. And because the market is so overbought, it wouldn't surprise me that if it does begin to correct itself, that Amazon will have to follow and most likely try to retrace back down to that moving average. So it's something that I'm very excited to follow up with. And I will only buy more of Amazon as it goes under $100 a share. Again, my intentions might be different than you, right? But I wouldn't be focused on day trading Amazon. It just doesn't normally move that much for it to be worth the day trade. I view it more as either a swing trade and or a great long-term play, in my opinion. So for Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, anytime those companies pull on back, I just view it as another opportunity to get it for a cheaper deal, right? A cheaper price. The thing that I would look out for Amazon, and again, this is just my opinion, the thing that I would look out for is that when we do break below this EMA, I would wait to see if we actually validate a support at the moving average. If we at least hold above the moving average, that would be a step in the right direction. Because remember, we've been selling off, trading below the moving average all of last year, making lower highs and lower lows. So we want to do the exact opposite. Pullbacks should not scare you. Pullbacks are part of the game, right? But as long as it doesn't go as low as it did before, right? So a progress for Amazon would be holding above the moving average. And that's ideally what I would be looking for. It's if it does retrace back a little bit and correct itself, sure, that's fine. Just again, I would try to see, hey, are we, holding above that 4-hour moving average for Amazon, right? Or for Google or for, Apple. And as long as it does that, then I would say that that's a step in the right direction. So let me go ahead and do Crocs real quick. So Crocs, I don't know if you guys need this, but Crocs is a very strong performing company ever since, I think it was like the pandemic. This thing just absolutely began to take off. It was one of the, best performing stocks for like 2020 or 2021 and one of my watch lists. So we went from overall lows of $8.40 to 183. I mean, did you guys know that about Crocs? Probably not, right? Like the shoes with the holes and stuff, 1,800% return, and then obviously it corrected itself, but it's having a second win. In my opinion, it's a little bit more on the overbought side now. We're showing a lot of signs of consolidation here, right? So this is why I think it's very important that even if your intention might be to day trade or to short-term swing trade something, it doesn't hurt to take a step back and to get a bigger picture of what it is that you're thinking about investing in or trading. So as of right now, we'll most likely retrace right back down to that moving average. And that's ideally what I would look out for where, are we going to hold above this EMA? If we break below this EMA, then I would completely get out there. So that's a break of pattern. And then it's going to most likely retrace to the moving average. But I say as long as it holds above the EMA, then again, you have that overall, higher high bullish pattern in your favor. But as long as we hold above the EMA, when we break below it, I would just, in my opinion, that's where I would close the position out altogether, as we're most likely going to retrace from 112 all the way right back down to $80 a share. So just make sure you are aware of that if you do choose to enter a position that if there is a break of pattern, you have to hold yourself accountable and actually completely pull out of that trade. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go ahead and we'll do 3 more. Let's make it quick so I don't have to take too much of your guys' time. So again, just make sure you share your top stock in the live chat, drop a thumbs up, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. So we got UPST. What is going on? So that's Upstart, right? So, all right, Upstart, $22 a share. So these are the tough ones because these are kind of like the Hail Mary type of stocks where they've dropped so much since their peak. It's just hard to to like want to invest in something when all it's been doing is losing so much money, right? I do see that based off of recent patterns. It's had a nice little second win, but remember, that 1 month of a green rally doesn't define a market recovery, right? It's been selling off since 2021. So it's been selling off for 2 years pretty much, or at least a year and a half. And it's been making lower highs, lower lows. Again, you don't have to overcomplicate your trading. You don't have to overcomplicate your investing. It's a very simple question of, hey, are you missing out by not being invested? And yeah, maybe for the past month you have been, right? Because it went from $12 to $22, but every other time prior to that, remember, it doesn't matter what it does for a month, because if all it does is it peaks and then it continues to make new lows, this is where you can really get trapped, because this is making lower highs and lower lows, meaning that every time that it tries to rally, it doesn't go as high as it did before. And again, that's just a tough position to be in. So I'd be very careful with companies like this that are continuously showing signs of lower highs and lower lows. Now, if this thing begins to break above the moving average and it actually begins to look like it's turning around, that's a different story. But that's why you set your alerts. You don't have to hope for those things to happen. You set your alerts and wait for that confirmation. So again, I just wanted to make sure that you guys don't make the same mistakes that I've made in my past, and that's forcing and entering a position that we all know you probably shouldn't be in it for the sake of it, right? So let's go ahead and do 2 more. Let's break down your top stock. What's up? BBBY, so Bed Bath & Beyond. Isn't that like a meme stock? It's a meme stock right now, right? Yeah, no, I'd completely stay away from this. Lower highs, lower lows. I mean, it's a beautiful descending pattern. And if you're going to say, well, look, when it pops off, it pops off. Again, that's when it's getting manipulated. So if that's what you're hoping for, then your intention is completely different than mine. But I'm not here to hope to get lucky, right? You have to be calculated with the positions and the trades that you choose to take. And this is simply screaming like, it's lower highs, lower lows, and it's the exact opposite of what I want to put my money in, right? Because other than these like quick pushes, right? Sure, those are day trades. No one's actually holding those. So yeah, if this thing begins to take off and you want to choose to day trade it because you want to participate in that pump and dump, sure, right? It obviously comes at a greater form of risk, but I'd be very, very careful with, especially if you're just a beginner, putting your money in stocks that are showing signs of lower highs, lower lows, and then from time to time, these huge pumps and then these big dumps, right? You're going to put yourself in a really tough position if you don't know how to lock in profits or manage your risk. And again, it's just asking yourself, how bad do you want it? And if you actually want to make something out of this, then don't put yourself in super risky positions, right? It's, again, like we like to say, it's not rocket science. So, all right, let's go ahead and do 2 more. So again, if you want me to break down your stock, just make sure you share it. So Meta short. All right, let's check that one out. So you're thinking about shorting Meta. Meta did recently, I think it had its single biggest day right after it reported earnings, which the funny part was I think it missed earnings on part of it. I don't know if it was the revenue or the earnings per share. But yeah, it's super overbought. I wouldn't short it now. As we don't have confirmation of an active sell-off, but it gapped up, I think, like 20%, right? So obviously the downside is pretty solid, but you just don't want to put yourself in a tough position. So if markets do begin to sell off, then of course Meta will correct itself. But as of right now, it's still holding up here. So there's no break-if pattern on the 1 hour time frame. You can see that. So maybe if we begin to break below 180, I can set my alert there and just be like, hey, I can go back and ask myself, do I want to open up a short? Do I see continuous selling pressure? Is this an active downtrend? And if so, then yeah, I don't mind participating in that short. But I don't want to enter a short now, knowing that, Meta still has a lot of upside, right? Tech is something that you don't ever really want to force a bet against when momentum is still relevant, right? It's going to be you'll see it as time goes on. It's you can put yourself in really tough positions if you force an entry and it's before confirmation, right? And then it ends up never selling off and you're like, oh no, the market's against me. But it's like, no, I mean, there was never a break of pattern, right? This thing's holding up here, and it could continue to hold, and it could continue to make new highs. So again, keep trading simple. And if you don't have that confirmation, then don't force that entry. And I think that's a big takeaway, even for your long positions. If you're thinking that something is about to take off, instead of forcing an entry, learn the importance of staying disciplined and waiting for that confirmation. So again, all we ever want for you to do is to learn from your mistakes, and then also focus on implementing progress, right? That's all. So we'd love for you to keep your profits, but we know that as you're just getting started, mistakes will be made, which is why we talk about, at least if you do take a loss, learn from it. And I think that would be a big takeaway. All right, let me go ahead and let's do one more. What do you guys think? All right. Okay, I'll do two more. So I'm going to do Boyle, and then I'm going to do, I'll do another one. So Boyle, continuous descending pattern, lower highs, lower lows. I would completely stay away from that. There's no indication of reversal. I see what you're hoping that this thing begins to recover, but again, don't overcomplicate it. Just set your alert and move on, right? If this thing begins to uptrend, allow it to alert you. You don't have to have an open position to hope that it does eventually. So let's do Rivian. I don't mind that one. So Rivian stock, it's been, so it was on a nice little rally since January 6th, I'm sure, right? January 19th. But it's already showing signs of a resistance right around that moving average. And again, if Tesla begins to sell off, if the rest of the market begins to sell off, then this thing will also begin to sell off as well. So it went from lows of $15 to overall highs of 21, so definitely not bad, but now it looks like it's going to begin to retrace and correct itself. So Rivian, Lucid tend to kind of just mirror in a much smaller degree Tesla's performance, unless they individually report something significant. But I haven't seen any competitor of an EV company to Tesla that has done exceptionally well without trying to piggyback off of Tesla's hype, right? So in that case, that's why I just focus on investing in Tesla versus any of the other ones. Okay, I'll do that one, Michael. So ENPH, why not? All right, ENPH, 4-hour time frame, lower highs, lower lows. That one's not looking too good on the overall day chart. Okay, that's not too bad. So overall day chart, it actually looks pretty attractive because of how oversold it is. We just don't have that confirmation just yet. So I see what you see in the sense of the signs of the margin for the potential recovery, and I'm sure you find that to be attractive, right? Which is why you're probably bringing it up. I like its previous pattern, its previous history of showing signs of higher highs and higher lows, and to 53% return. So again, let's not overcomplicate it. Let's set our alerts. If the thing begins to trade above the moving average right around 250, then that's a step in the right direction. But we have a long way to go from now. As of right now, it's making lower highs, lower lows, and that's not a good sign. So I could expect it to sell off even more prior to recovering. So again, I think that's why it's super, super important to just make sure that you truly do learn the importance of staying disciplined and waiting for that proper confirmation, even if the margin, right, does look very attractive. 50% sounds great, but what if it sells off an additional 20%, right? At that point, literally, if you would have just waited, you could have gotten it at a cheaper price and, potentially have made more money. So remember, it doesn't matter if the market goes up or down. There's always money to be made as long as you focus on one thing, and that's market direction. It's one of the main reasons that I personally really do enjoy focusing so much on just trading the NASDAQ ETF. So I'm very excited to trade with you guys this week, especially if you're part of our Learn Plan Profit team, especially if you're new. I think that you guys are going to be in for a treat for a pretty interesting week. Obviously, there's going to be a lot to learn, and that's always what we want to encourage you guys to do is, you want to trade with enough money that you take it seriously, but not so much that, you become so emotional and so rational that it ends up making this whole trading experience unenjoyable, right? Where you're never going to want to do it again. So again, you should be trading with a small dollar amount. You will be making mistakes. Mistakes in the market cost money. So why would you be trading with a lot? You're learning how to trade. So don't forget that. Focus on the learning part. If you guys have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to me either via Discord or via Instagram, and everything is linked in the description. So if you're ready to join my Learn Plan Profit team, again, I've said it many, many times. I work with one team and one team only. You don't have to join, but if you want my help and if you want to work with me on a closer basis, this is the only thing that I offer. I offer nothing else. It's Learn Plan Profit 2.0. It's the second link in the description down below. And right now it's $150 off. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access, and you get access to the A to Z video lesson library designed for complete beginners, my daily live trading sessions that begin right at market open. So if you join today, you can watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow. And then you get access to the private group chat in the TechBuds HQ. So again, one-time payment, lifetime access, biggest sale, it's $150 off, and that's the second link down below. Other than that, I really do appreciate you guys' time. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, and I am using the Webull trading application. So if you're tired of your old brokerage and you want something newer that's similar to mine, then again, fifth link in the description down below. When you sign up and deposit $1, you will earn up to 12 free shares. I will earn 1 free share. So it's a win-win. And again, if you want that 12 share promotion, you need to use the fifth link in the description down below. If you have any questions, you guys know how to reach out to me. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.